Okay, so we are going to do f of g of 8. So I'm going to start typing out f. So I'm going to say -3. And then when I get to the x, I'm going to put in g. So then I'll put in 2. But inside of g, we're putting in 8. So when I get to the x in the g, I'm going to put in 8. So I'm going to say 8. And then I'll make that squared. All right, and I'll arrow over, and then I have -6. So what I did is this is 8 inside of G, which is inside of F. So there's the -3x. And then I'm going to finish doing F. F was -3x. So here's -3x, and then I have a -1. So I've got all those numbers there. I'm going to do a Control-C, and I'll put that into Desmos. And I'm going to paste it, and I get -367. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I've got R, and oh, you know what? Oh, okay. So now I've got R, and I'm going to put f of g of 8 into R. All right. So I'm going to start typing out R. So that would be -2. And then I get to the x, right? So for the x, I'm going to put in this f of g of 8. Well, I figured that out up here. F of g of 8 is -367. So I'm going to put that in there. All right, so there's my -2x, and then I have a -7. All right, so that was just substituting in f of g of 8 into R. And then now I'm going to do Control-C, and then I'll paste this into Desmos, and I get 727. All right, and that is it. So a function has an inverse if it passes the vertical. So it has to pass the vertical to be a function, and to have an inverse, it has to pass the horizontal as well. All right, and now if I want to see if these are inverses, that means if I put G into F, I'm going to get the same thing as when I put F into G. So I'm going to start out, we'll put G into F. So that would be 3. I'm going to start typing X, and then I'm going to put G inside. So that would be 1/3. Oops. 1/3 X. Now there's no numbers in there, so I'm going to leave the X's, -3. All right, so there's my G of X, right? I took G of X and I put it into F, and then now I'm going to just do the +9. All right, so that's just G of X into F. And then now what I'm going to do is actually some algebra, and I'm going to simplify that. I got to do the distributive property. Let me see if I can just plug this in. All right, so now I'm going to go up here, use my sketch pad. So I've got 3 times 1/3 X minus 3 plus 9. Okay, so 3 times 1/3. If I do that on Desmos, all right, I'll do 3 times 1/3. That equals 1. Okay, that kind of ends up with the 3's canceling out. All right, so this gives me 1x, right? 1x, which is just x. All right, 1x is just x, so I'm going to leave off the 1, and I'll just say that's x. And then now I've got to distribute the 3 times the negative 3. So 3 times negative 3, and I'll do that. I'll type that into Desmos. 3 times negative 3, and I get that's negative 9. And then I have a plus 9. Now what's negative 9 plus 9? That's 0, right? So x plus 0, so that is just x. So when I go here, and I'll just put that is x. After all, when I put g of x into f of x, that just gives me x. Now I'm going to put f of x into g. So I'm going to start typing out g. So g is 1/3, and I'm going to put x when I get, when I get to the x, I'm going to put f of x. So because I'm putting f of x into g, so I'm going to type 3x plus 9. All right, so I'm typing out g, so there's my 1/3 x, and then I've got a minus 3. If you look up here, 1/3 x minus 3, that's g. All right, and I'll just check and make sure I substituted in correctly. All right, and then now I'm just going to use my algebra here. Go to the sketch pad and clear out the other one. So now I'm going to do 1/3 times 3x plus 9 minus 3. All right, so I distribute the 1/3. So 1/3 times 3, we did that, that's 1, right? The 3's cancel out. And so that's 1x, which is just x. And then 1/3 times 9, I do that on Desmos. All right, 1/3 times 9 is 3. 1/3 is kind of like dividing by 3, actually. So that gives me a plus 3. And then I have this minus 3. So plus 3 minus 3 is 0, so this would just be x. So again, I got x for my answer. When I put f of x into g, I got x. So for both of them, when I put g into f, I got x, and when I put f into g, I got x, and that means that they are inverses. All right, so I'll stop that one. There's one more question that you can do. Have a great weekend.